What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode of American Horror Story New York, season 11, episode 4, Blackout. Girl, okay. So remember how on episode 3, first of all, let me not be rude. Let me turn around, take this gum in my mouth. I don't want. There we go. Okay, and there's a piece of paper back there. So remember on episode 3, at the end they was at the hospital and they came to Whitey, right? Whitely. Why is his name? It couldn't even just be Whitley, Whitty, or Whitey. It's White Lee. L-E-L-Y at the end. Girl. Anyway, it's giving very much slave owner. I don't know. It just came to me, girl. It just came to me. Anyway. So, Gino is up in that freezer, freezing his ass off, okay? And meanwhile, Patrick just going past and, he trying to find Gino and he also trying to find Whiteley, right? And so at this point, he don't see him, but then he see Whiteley at the end of the hall at one point, and this motherfucker is so brazen with what he's doing because true to form, what he's saying is 100% correct about how the cops really at that point and at that time did not give a fuck about gay people, especially gay men, and he literally just knew that he can get away with this stuff. That's why he stood at the end of that hall and let Patrick see him and then literally just waved at him. I said, Jesus. All right. So at this point, Patrick running after him, but he is very much the serial killer. He is very much. Whiteley is giving me like almost classic. I ain't gonna say classic, but almost like 80s slasher horror film or whatever. The killer, the ones that don't really run like that, and if they do pick up a little speed, it's literally a lazily speed, okay? And that's what we saw. Cause how the hell that big lanky motherfucker get away from Patrick? I can understand Gino, but then again, I really can't. Okay, I really can't. But he somehow got away. So Patrick had no choice but to go back inside the hospital to see what Gino was. And he was going to floor to floor. And eventually, he wound up finding him in the morgue. He opened up, first of all, when we saw Gino, okay, Gino had icicles already forming on his goddamn eyebrows. I said, well, what is the degrees in the fucking cabinet for the goddamn morgue? I want to know that. Now I'm finna go Google, okay? Meanwhile, he done got him up out of there. And I was like, oh, Jesus, thank God. At first, I thought he was gone. Because his body wasn't moving. The eyeballs were just like this. I said, blink, Gino, blink. I said, Patrick, give him mouth to mouth him. But anyway, somebody asked what this is. Baby, I fucked myself up. It's a bump. And I don't want to, it's going down on its own because, first of all, I'm not trying to leave a scar. It's still going, so I'm just not picking with it. So that's what it is. It's nothing. It's no infection or whatever or anything like that. It's just I don't want to bust it. Because I did that, and that's why it's like this. Somebody had asked that. That's the reason why I said that. Anyway, moving on from that, we see Gino waking up, and him and Patrick is in the bed, right? Gino is scratching like a motherfucker. Scratching like, I said, oh my God, is he like having, a nightmare or whatever, what happened to him, post-traumatic stress or whatever? Is that what's going on? But then I noticed when he got up out the bed and they showed Patrick, remember when Patrick was like, when he was putting his little leather harness on and he saw he had the little thing right there, the little rash right there? Baby, why is it all on the back of his back? It's a little bit more on the back of his shoulder and everything. And meanwhile, Gino got the same rash everywhere, whatever. Because he was like, where the fuck you been at? You done brought home fleas and all this shit? That is what's going on? The fact that they thought it was fleas, that I don't, listen, okay. So at this point, it is hot as hell outside. I just don't understand what's going on with this summertime out here in this New York, because baby, it was feeling like it was this summer and last summer, baby. I just don't understand. It was extremely hot. Because ever since we started this season, it's been hot as shit. Everybody has been glistening from sweat, all right? And it is so hot out there at this point that it is about to be a blackout. That is why the episode is called Blackout. Gino, he's at the Voice, and or the native newspaper, and he's talking to Adam about everything that's going on and how they need to get people to come together. Meanwhile, Adam was trying to write his article, and he's using a fake name as well, like he's quoting himself with a fake name. And Gino is like, you can't do that. So he's giving him the ropes, and they need to put a face to the story. They need somebody to come out and to just get the word out, because that is what they're missing. Nobody is taking it serious because the community is not taking it serious. So you have to get more people within the community to, actually want to care about what's going on. Because at this point in time, this is the only thing that is bothering me a little bit about this show. And it's the stereotype that gay men are all about just having sex everywhere, anywhere, with anybody at any time. That's all that they're showing. They're not showing anybody going to work, really. They're not, besides Gino, they're not showing anybody doing something that's actually, helping the community besides Gino and his storyline or whatever. But every other gay person that we encountered on this show, they're just sex heavy. And it's just like, okay, so you're going to play heavily on this stereotype. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Meanwhile, Gino went down there to see Miss Patty LaPone, right? While she was singing or having auditions at the bathhouse. And this guy, he was up there singing, baby. He was blowing. I said, all right, give him the job. She gave him the job, And Gino basically was talking to her like, we need people to come to the front lines and to be on our side and to say, yes, this is something, some shit is going on. Some dark shit is happening, okay? Like, y'all fucking, you come up in our community, you use our community, you're getting money off our community, but yet you're not helping the community. And that kind of pissed her off, because she like, yeah, bitch, I be up in this bitch. Yeah, I've been here for a while. She give her little history or whatever, but she's very much an ally to the community, to the gay community or whatever. And she said, yes, I see the stuff that's going on, because Gino mentioned about one of the guys that last was seen there, and nobody is talking about it. He has gone missing. And I'm pretty sure it's the guy that Theo was about to have sex with or whatever, that got photographed. Remember him? He got photographed at their house, and Sam made them turn that stool over or whatever. Probably made him fuck the stool. And remember when he went into the sauna, the steam room or whatever, Big Daddy was right there. Remember that? We ain't seen him since, So that's probably who he was talking about. And so she had to be real. She said, to be quite honest, I do see the change that's happening. This used to be a place where people could just come and, have fun or whatever. Now it's like every freaking month there's a freaking, or once a week or once a month or something like that, an ambulance had to be called. Okay. And she has to put in favors to get the ambulance to come there, because, it's a bathhouse. It's gay people. They don't really care, And so at one point she was just like, you could quote me on this. Some shit needs to be done. We need more protection, okay? Because just as much as this is your community, this is my community too. And I care about it. And action needs to happen, because I'm tired about what is going on. And I can't be the only one that's seeing it. So this is something that, and I feel like she's the owner, because she said as a business owner. So, she's doing this, and this is what a small piece of what they needed. Just somebody else to speak out about all the stuff that's happening. We may not know what's going on exactly, but I do see the changes. Like, it's an uptick in a lot of shit. Speaking of changes and shit and some mess going on, all of a sudden Patrick and the whole police department or whatever, they get called down to a different district, and they go upstairs to this apartment on the 5th floor, and they was like, no elevator. I said, God damn, okay, baby, it just reminded me when I was trying to go up and see that other place, and I told y'all about it. I will never forget that because that was one of my most embarrassing moments, okay? Because I was so energy depleted. My iron levels was low. My cycle was on at the same time. Probably a little bit too much information. But baby, when I tell you I did not have any energy, I was already a little shaky. And it was like 3, 4.5 long ass flights of fucking steps. With little steps, okay? And I was in front of the realtor walking up the steps and I had to stop to catch my breath for one, but also because it felt like I was about to pass the fuck out. I said, oh my God. And I was very much the chunky detective that was walking up the steps and it was already fucking hot. And he just stopped. He said, bitch. I said, I know that's the fuck right. At this point in time, bitch, I gotta breathe, okay? I don't give a fuck what it look like, baby. I gotta breathe, okay? You want me to still be here and help you? Let me sit here for a second and catch my breath, okay? Mind you, that's how I be doing at the at work or whatever now, cause the elevator is broke, and it's been broke for the past week or so. And I'm like, that's fine because that helps me with my exercise and shit like that. Get my walk in and everything. Bitch, let me tell y'all something. Girl, I had to go walk to go get, because usually I order out. But, I walked to go get a sandwich or whatever because we had all staff day and they fed us. They gave us $25 to go eat whatever we want to eat. So I just looked around the neighborhood and baby, I had a little brisk 20-minute, 25-minute walk or whatever. Girl, it worked. I thought I couldn't do it because my knee been bothering me, but it actually did. It actually did good with my knee. So I was like, okay, now I can get it because, bitch, the reason why it still keep hurting is because, bitch, the chairs are low, and I can't adjust it, and I'm tall for my, I'm almost 5'9", bitch. Okay, and so my knees be up to my chest sometimes. God damn, I be needing to stretch that bitch out and it just don't be working. But anyway, enough about me. They get up into the goddamn apartment. First, before we see them get all the way up to the apartment, we see them taking this dude down. And it was like, I didn't do nothing. I said, what is going on? Here's the gag. The other police officer came out and said, y'all gonna have to, baby, this the calm before the storm because you're gonna have to brace yourself because there's some more shit up in here. I said, what? I'm thinking we're about to see, a body disemboweled or whatever, tied up in some, sex swing or some shit like that. No, it's Hans. Hans is the dude that was on the subway tracks in The Performer, the one that had the white makeup on, the one that had the cat, the one that was in the last episode, going home with the white makeup on, with the funny hairline. Why they said if he is laying in the bed, he's sitting up in the bed like this, in his drawers, okay? In his drawers. And his body is decomposing and it looked like it is being eaten up. I said, what the fuck? It looked like a flesh-eating bacteria or whatever that was going through his body. And I'm sitting here like, well, how long was he sick? And I automatically knew that he was not killed by the Mai killer. What they trying to make it seem, they're trying to correlate his death to the killer, but it wasn't. And he's got infections on his body. He got sores and everything. Like his body is decomposing and it just looked disgusting. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? What is happening? How long has he been sick that his body got like this? And how long has it been since he came home from that subway and remember the lady said something dark is coming for you, So that's what it is. And he died from that. But what got me and gagged me was when they said, this is a gentleman in his mid-20s. I said mid-20s where? Maybe mid-30s. I said, that is an old looking mid-20s. No shade. But I'm pretty sure you motherfuckers thought the same damn thing, okay? Don't do me and don't try to act like you did it, okay? Because, child, what? And so Patrick was talking to the detective and the chief or whatever, and basically trying to tell him, no, this ain't got nothing to do with the murders or whatever. This is something else. And the guy that y'all got, that, you know, y'all found him, he was basically crying over the body. It was his friend that was coming to check on him because he hadn't seen them. And, you know, he was crying over the body or whatever. And at this point, they was like, just let him go because he has nothing to do with this. Meanwhile, you know, Patrick, he stayed up there and he wound up calling, I feel like it was Gino, and said it's another one that just passed away. Okay, cool. Next thing you know, we get Theo coming up in there to Sam's, okay, and basically breaking up with him. I said, oh, so Mr. Adam didn't get to you or whatever. Theo and Sam's relationship, we already knew it was a give and take type of situation. It was almost like a sugar daddy type of situation. You give me sugar, I pay for your lifestyle type of situation. That's what it was. Maybe there really was some feelings at one point because Theo said himself, Sam did not used to be this dark that he is. And it's like he gradually became this way, you know, and he was telling Sam this himself, like, it's a whole bunch of shit that's going on. And it's a whole bunch of dark shit that is being said out there on the street, and they keep saying your name with it. You up here holding people hostage in cages and shit, sex dungeons and all this stuff or whatever. And what you out here doing? He was like, you think I'm capable of killing people or something like that? If that's what you think, you know, go ahead and call 911 or whatever. But before that, he was like, I seen a change in you. Mind you, Theo just got back from the fucking hospital. He still got the dirt on him and the smoke shit and soot and fucking ash on his body from what happened at the Ascension, right? And as soon as he come in, Sam wanna fuck him. I'm sitting here like, damn, can you ask how I'm doing? Am I okay? You know, and that's what made Theo realize, like, this is not gonna work. This is not going to work. And of course, Sam being an older gentleman and the one that's funding his career is like, you leave me, bitch, you ain't going to have nothing. He was like, I mean, nigga, what is it that you want? Because first it was the little shiny trinkets and the teacups and the teapots and the trays. And then it became the photographs. And then it became the men in the photographs. He said, I collect things. You should know that. And I collect pretty things, all right? And so at this point, while they're going back and forth and Theo is basically going off on him and trying to get his feelings out, baby, why is he still trying to, you know, he's talking about something, oh, you talking to me like this is getting me riled up. I said, this is not the time, Sam. Something is wrong with him. Like, is sex always on your mind? Do you even know what you're... It's like, I know they have an arrangement because they said it. You know, we can go do whatever it is that we want or whatever, but... You love me, I love you. No, you don't, because you treat him like shit. And if you're going to tell somebody, well, you ain't going to be nothing without me, it's just, I'm just like, girl, Theo didn't, let that sway him, because when he was about to call 911, which he actually did, but he didn't say nothing, because he was like, I'm scared of you. And he was like, you really think I could kill you? He was like, I mean, look at you. Ain't no telling what you capable of. He was like, well, if you really think I'm the killer or whatever, go ahead. So he called 911, but he didn't say nothing. But he sure enough dropped them keys. He dropped them keys, bitch. Next thing you know, we see this scene with Gino and Adam up at the Native, and they're talking about Hans and this whole illness that he had going on. And it's just like, you know, Gino is going through some shit. And at this point, Gino is sick as well. All right. And, he was just going off. And Adam telling him he needs to calm down. And he like, I'm so tired of people telling me to calm the fuck down. Because at this point, it feels like to him that he is the only one that truly gives a damn about what's going on with the gay people in his community, in his neighborhood, in this area, whatever, where all of this shit is going on at. And nobody else is doing anything, you know. Meanwhile, we see Adam walking down the street afterwards, and Sam had pulled up and told him to get up in the car. Now, see, Adam, you're a little bit too trusting for me. Now, if you already knew that that was Theo's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend now or whatever the fuck it is, bitch, I ain't no way in hell I would have got up into that man's car. Mind you, this is after he done fucked his... Adam was walking down that street. He came around to his to his place, and Theo was sitting out there. He was like, I heard you and I left him, and you know, I want to be with you and all this stuff, and boo boo boo. Mad you, Theo just had to have no shirt on or whatever. Granted, it's hot as fuck outside because, you know, everybody's sweaty and all that shit, but Theo just had to have his abs out. I said, all right, Theo, we see you, you know, okay. And it was like, you want to come upstairs and get some water? He said, sure. Baby, he go up there and they wind up having sex. And then Theo had to leave. But if you notice, am I the only one who noticed this? When Theo got up to pull his pants up, did you see the little, he had like a little bruise. I don't know if it's from him, from the little kinky shit that they just got through doing, or if it's from the illness or whatever that he possibly got, because he do have sex with a lot of people. Sam also had sex with a lot of people, and if you go back to when they was having their argument and when the camera was behind Sam, he had them rashes and them bumps or whatever on the back of his neck towards the inside going downward, you know what I'm saying? I said, that it can be easily hidden by his collar of his shirt, but you can still see it, you know? I said, what are you trying to say? But then Sam had came up on him, and Adam got up in the car, and he basically was like, you can have your fun with his ass, but he gonna get bored with you, and then he gonna come back to me. First of all, Adam said, bitch, listen, I ain't trying to get between none of the shit that y'all had, but he told me that the shit is over with, so it is what it is. And I'm like, you know what? Get the fuck up out that man's car, okay? And before that, like, this is around the time where all the power went out. And then, you know, Adam had punch play on his voicemail recording. Baby, that was back in the day. I don't know how old y'all are, but I'm finna tell you. So back in the day, for the youngins that don't know who are watching, we didn't always have cell phones, okay? I mean, the cell phones that that big ass block ass cell phone, that was before my time. But I'm talking about the cell phones that we had now, okay? We had actual house phones, okay? And you actually had to buy a phone, and then you had to buy a fucking answering machine and hook those two up, okay? Bitch, and you had to go through a service. Our phone service was with Ameritech, okay? I don't know if anybody remember that. Ameritech. Baby, I think that's the name of the company. I remember that shit. Y'all remember Singular Wireless? Is that still around? Because that was one of my first cell phones that I had. And that was back in the day. But I'm just saying it because, you know, Adam, he was checking his phone recordings or whatever, and it was this weird breathing that was going on the line. And so then his phone actually rang, and I was really confused. I said, is the phone line on a different grid than the power? Because if all the lights and shit went out, how is the phone still working? Well, I guess it is. You know, because Morris had called him and said, you know, oh boy that threw that last party at the warehouse or whatever, they finna throw another party. I said, bitch, y'all forever throwing a party? Y'all forever throwing, it is hot as shit outside with no power. Probably ain't got a cool drink to drink, and y'all just finna go fuck. That's basically it. He said, call everybody and tell them whoever you want to call, and tell them to calm down, okay? I said, oh, all right. Meanwhile, you know, back at the station, Patrick get called in by his the captain, right? And he just trying to understand, how is it that we are having this investigation with supposed to be close to the vest that nobody's supposed to know any of the information to regarding Hans and all this other stuff? And how is it that it is being put in, as he said, that queer or that F word newspaper, you know, and all this other shit? And Patrick was like, so what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that I put it out there? Because, baby, let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm a fucking police officer, and I fucking love my job, okay? And I love the shit that is making it affords me to do and everything, you know? Because the truth is, I am a gay policeman. I said, all right. And then the captain just said, okay, going out there. Because that's when that power went out, you know. I was like, oh, because I feel like if it comes out that the captain gay too, and that's why he doing all that shit, because sometimes it be like that when they be overly using, you know, discriminatory words and all that shit or whatever. Sometimes it's because they hiding themselves and they don't want to be found out, so they doing a little bit too much trying to fit in. That's what the captain gives me, so I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, he gay in real life. But hey, it is what it is. Meanwhile, why is Barbara back over there fucking around with Gino? Barbara comes over. I said, girl, it's hot as shit outside. It's blackout outside. Why do you keep coming over here? And truth be told, I never trusted Barbara because I feel like Barbara is, you know, Barbara might try to sabotage stuff because I feel like she's still mad. I don't even know, mostly probably hurt. Okay, hurt and a little bit bitter that her husband that she loved, he loved her, but he wasn't in love with her because he's not a straight man. He was hiding who he really was and using her as a cover. And not only that, he left her for another man, you know. And so even though she tried to act like she's over it, she's not. And I feel like she's doing anything in her power to make not Patrick look a little funny in Gino's eyes. Like you said, you're trying to make us, you know, like break up or whatever. You're trying to get to me about him and all this shit. Because she come over there bringing a little leather hood. I said, uh-oh. Now, we already know that Patrick is into the leather thing, right? Okay, cool. So I'm sitting here like, why is this such a big deal? You know, why are you acting like this? And it was like, well, you said that there's somebody out here doing some stuff. Maybe he got recruited. Maybe he got this. And I said, girl, sit your ass down. Okay, go somewhere because you're doing entirely too much. And she was like, listen, I'm just trying to warn you. I'm just trying to let you know because I feel like me and you are the same. Patrick was lying to my ass this whole fucking time, and he probably lying to your ass too. And at the one hand, I was sitting here like, girl, you're doing too much. And he was like, what if I go? She said, I'm gonna go up there to his job. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I said they should have took her ass out because they trusted her enough not to come up there in front of everybody to the job and say, he's a, you know, that's what they be talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I probably would have had to move away or something because mama, I just wouldn't be able to trust her, especially after these pop-ups, right? But I feel like, and don't get me, check on this. Remember when Patrick and the wife first met up, right? Remember when they first met up and she said that she had a little cold or something and she didn't want to give it to him. I feel like, and you see that Patrick already exhibiting some signs, you know, he ain't exhibiting no symptoms, but he got that rash, right? Okay. And then we later find out some shit because Patrick gets a phone call from you know, Mr. Whiteley, right? And basically was like, bitch, come get me at the park, okay? I know who the fuck you are, Detective Reed, okay? And you've been looking for me. He gives the whole reason why he's doing this to the gay men and shit, which really don't make no sense to me, but okay. Because, I mean, why would you take out the people in your own community? That makes no sense to me, but all right, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. What do you think, they're weaker or whatever, or that's your advantage because you can get into these crowds and you can fit in because you're gay as well, and so therefore let's target our own people? I just don't get it. I don't get it. So, you know, he was like, come get me at the park, you know, and his partner had came up there because he was giving him some coffee. He was like, you good? It was like, I just got a big lead, right? So they go to the park. Mind you, remember old boy Hans friend that got taken out of his apartment? Baby, he went down there to the warehouse, okay? And everybody was up in there fucking. I said, oh my God, turn the light on. At one point, we saw somebody getting dick down in the back and giving head at the same time. I said, you know what? You better Eiffel Tower that bitch. That's exactly what they was doing. I said, all right, you better get it in. I said, it was a little much, but then again, I haven't watched porn in a minute. Ooh, bitch. And let me tell you how deep into the porn that I'm in, okay? I don't know if y'all be on Twitter, but baby, it is this dude named Fat Rabbit Killer. Black guy. And every time when you see his videos that be coming up on Twitter or whatever, he do what he do. And either he got a mask on or you just never see his face, but you see his dick and all that other shit. And he be, whoo, I feel for the niggas that he be fucking, because god damn, he be tearing that shit up. Well, face was unveiled, and it's just been a whole bunch of shit about whether or not they think he attractive or not. I said, if y'all don't get the fuck out of here, y'all will still fuck him, so, or let him hit. So just shut the hell up. That's how deep into this shit that I am. I told y'all, Ashley is into it, okay? I don't care. I don't discriminate. Anyway, so dude was like, wake up, wake up, wake up. I said, wake up. Ain't nobody up in there sleep. They in there fucking. You should have said, take the dick out your mouth. Take the dick out your mouth. Take your dick out your mouth. Okay, get up. Baby, his other friend, the dude that's the head of it, he came over there. He said, baby, what the fuck are you doing? You can't come up in here with this. Maybe you done had too much drugs or nothing. He said, no, bitch. We up in here doing all this shit. Don't give a damn about nobody else but ourselves. Meanwhile, Hans is motherfucking dead. And he was like, wait a minute, what? It was like, Hans is dead. He been sick for a minute and none of us came over there to check on him. Okay? Died in his motherfucking bed. And then it was like, it's something going on. It's something after us. I don't know what's happening, but it is something dark going on. It's that same theme of something dark happening. You know, not only do you have a silent killer, which is the HIV, but you also have an actual killer going on. So you do have multiple killers happening, you know? And so at this point, here comes Adam. Adam pops up and he was like, he's right. He's right. It's a serial killer that's out here. He done already killed 5 people. And then there's some other people that we can't even find to even understand what's going on. But what we need to do is we need to get together as a community. And we need to come together like at least once a week. This week, next week, and then a week after that to see how we can get a hold of this and come together. It seemed like some of them was listening, but then I was like, I don't think they gonna listen. They don't care. They more want to get their dick sucked and all that shit. That's the way that they trying to make it. But meanwhile, Patrick is out there in the park and he looking for Whiteley. And so before he can see Whiteley, he sees Big Daddy. Big Daddy trying to come at him with a goddamn ball and chain, bitch. I said it was spike ball and chain. I said, oh my god, if that shit was real, baby Patrick, your ass would be gone. Okay, he get to the point where he's shooting his gun off and the partner coming over there. At first the partner wasn't answering his you know, his walkie, so he thought something happened to him. Meanwhile, you got other gay boys or whatever, these 2 gay boys, they was walking down the street, walking down the parkway or whatever, and they had heard the gunshots and they was like, maybe it's just like somebody popping a bottle or some shit or whatever. You know how that is. Let's just keep on walking. Instead of just going ahead and leaving, they gonna keep walking deeper into the goddamn park. Mind you, they walked past Whiteley. Whiteley saw them and said, baby, next victim, because he told Reed, bitch, y'all can't do shit now. Okay, the bars ain't really it right about now, because y'all can't stop me because it's a fucking blackout. I said, Jesus Christ. Girl, he saw them too, and I said, uh-oh, the next victim. And so he did not find him. But, you know, what Patrick told his partner, because his partner was like, I heard a gunshot, what's going on? He was like, that lunatic was right. It is, dude was right. It is a lunatic in leather, you know, that's going around attacking people, right? And so we think we got that going on. Meanwhile, Patrick had went home and he's so geeked about what he did or whatever. And Gino was just sitting on the couch like, okay, cool. He was like, baby, I came out. You know, I told him I was a police officer. He was like, what was the reason that you did it? Because the only time that you tell the truth is when you're about to get caught. I said, shit. You know, and then he started confronting him about the whole leather thing, because he told Barbara that he already knew about it, but he really didn't. And he was like, so why don't you just tell me all the fucking truth? So basically what we find out is Patrick a hoe himself. Patrick a hoe himself. He said, bitch, so I used to just go out, you know, it's like a compulsionary thing. I go out, fuck this person, you know, because even Whiteley said that. He said, you do it so, you do it from behind and then you leave before they can even see who you are. And I didn't get that that's what he was talking about until this scene. I was like, oh, so he into the scene, bitch. He into the scene. He fuck around and he's been with multiple people. And I'm pretty sure the way that he was speaking, he's been with multiple people while he was still with Gino. You know, and Gino is just like, why can't you just tell me the truth? Because if that's what you wanted to do, we could have did that. Because hell, I could have been fucking other people too. But it's like every other fucking day, it's a new thing that I'm learning about you. I can't be with somebody that I don't even fucking trust. Because at this moment, I feel like Gina was about to break up with him. And next thing you know, he was like, it's like, you're breaking my heart or some shit. Girl, he started grabbing his chest and he was like, you know, can't even breathe, bitch. He passed the fuck out. So at this point I said, oh my God, did he just have a heart attack or some shit? What was it, a panic attack? Which one was it? Baby, when he wakes up at the hospital, the nurse or the doctor come up in and said, so, he passed out because he had a fever of over 102, right? And he been sick. Now he's really been exhibiting some, you know, sick symptoms or whatever. And so at this point, the doctor said, do y'all got a cat? And like, cause your little flea bites look like, you know, if a cat would have just scratched you. And it was like, no, we ain't got no cat. Okay, well, we're gonna keep you here because it looked like you got cat scratch virus or something like that. I said, what? They just making up shit because they don't know shit. That's just what it was. And I was just like, oh my goodness, he has it. He has it. Patrick has it. And given the fact that Patrick been hoeing around and ain't nobody been using protection, obviously, Barbara probably got it. You know, so that wind up happening. And then we go back to the motherfucking park, right? We see Hans' friend and the other guy, they're walking in the park. And we just see everybody just dipping off in the parks where they be fucking and everything. I said, God damn. It was a lot. I said, I hope the straights ain't watching this because y'all know y'all gonna be like, oh my God, why y'all just throwing all this shit up in our face? I'm like, this is episode 4, and if you ain't know it was gay, like, come on, you wanted to watch it. But it is a lot. It is a lot of sex or whatever. It could be toned down just a little bit, but it's a lot. And, you know, they walk in, and next thing you know, they come upon somebody that just cut somebody's head off and was holding their head like this. Baby, it's Wiley. And the way that they were, the distance from where they were from him, the dude that was Hans' friend that caught, that was almost about to be a suspect in this murder, but they said no and let him go. He was like, I'm finna go. But then the other dude was like, no, we're gonna follow him and see where he goes and all this shit. And I'm like, the distance does not make it seem like, and it does sound like they was whispering. I said, I know he hit him. Y'all not that far away from him. I know he hit him talking, and I know he hear them crunching. Okay, like, y'all a little bit too loud and a little bit too obvious. They wound up following this man all the way to his house, to his apartment building, right? And so they got to the apartment building, but oh boy wanted to know which apartment he was in. I said, bitch, go the fuck home before you become victim number whatever, okay? He convinced old boy to go up into the apartment in the actual building. Baby, why is Whiteley standing there waiting? He said, oh, here you go. I said, now see, if he is actually waiting, baby, y'all need to turn the fuck around and go the fuck back, okay? They get on that little ass elevator, and I said, that look like the capacity is up to 1,000 pounds. Get the fuck up off of that shit. Baby, he get to talking about how, y'all just moved in? It was like, no, we visiting some friends or whatever. He was like, okay, cool. Then all of a sudden the power go out. I said, oh my God. The elevator stops, the lights go out. White leader's like, listen, I got a match. You know, he talking about how he was in the war. Talking about how they noticed the smell or whatever because he got the head up in the goddamn bag that he was holding. And he was like, you know, I just buy day old meat that's expired probably like a day or two after the expiration date because it's a little bit cheaper, but it's still good. Don't worry about it. That's what you're smelling, you guys. But then all of a sudden, you know, because the other boy was like, I am claustrophobic. I don't do good in small spaces. And he was trying to get this thing to work. All of a sudden, Wiley drew another match because the fire went out. And he was like, you know what? I just lied to you guys. And I don't like to lie. And plus, I already know that you guys know exactly what's up in this bag. I said, oh my God. Next thing you know, the fucking match went out, and when the match came back on, he had a knife in his hand. I said, baby, 2 for 1, bitch. 2 for 1 again. Girl, this was another good episode. I was here for it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Obviously, I gave y'all a almost 40-minute review for this one. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about the episode, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.